Flashback, back to 2014, our second ever movie commentary, one of the most reviled adaptations of that time, and, well, probably still is.
Well, remakes, whatever you called.
Fortunately, after this, Disney learned and they started making them better than this.
Hopefully they improve for that sequel, god dang it.
But Jungle Book sucked, though.
Hey, I liked Jungle Book.
I thought it was fine, but whatever.
But hey, we're not here to talk about Jungle Book. We're here to talk about Maleficent. And this time we brought with us the guy who made our original thumbnail, Theo Scavin.
Any complaints can be filed to me, thank you.
So basically we figured, you know, why not revisit this, especially since there's news of a sequel of this movie coming up, so...
Totally need it.
Well, let's relive the merriment, shall we? Okay, audience, start right before the Disney logo for this movie. If I recall correctly, it's going to be one of those customized ones where we end up going into the Disney castle. Alright then, everyone ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, click. So,
I haven't seen this movie in theaters, but I saw it in streaming, but I didn't remember what I actually ate that day, but as soon as the movie finished, I got huge stomach cramps. I took it as a sign.
Wow.
Well, considering how badly Alice Through the Looking Glass did, I'm doubting Linda Wolverton's going to have all that much involvement.
And yet, it's still one of Nomura's favorite Disney movies.
Really?
Yes.
Actually, too. I mean, didn't he just say Maleficent was one of his favorite villains?
Nope. The Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. I quote, "I would want someday to include the White Queen in Kingdom Hearts."
Huh. Wow. He's right.
It wouldn't be the first time he puts a bad Disney movie in Kingdom Hearts, and it ends up being...
Anyway, it's CGI scenery, I guess, everything.
Well, one thing that bothers me about this film is how bad the CGI is most of the time. Considering that the director is an alumni from ILM.
Okay, 14 years before this movie, exactly in the year 2000, or I think even 1999, I forgot the exact date, Disney made a movie called Dinosaurs. Regardless of what you think about it, the magic of that movie is that despite the dinosaur CGI, all the ambients are actually real-life location. They look much more believable than this.
And everyone, this is our villain! I mean our hero! I mean our villain! I mean... Yeah, that's Maleficent.
Yeah, who the fuck... What sadistic parents name their child Maleficent just because she has huge horns?
Like, for context, the original, in the original fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty, she was just called the Evil Fairy. Of course, the Disney film capitalized on the fact that she was evil, so of course she was named something like Maleficent. And this movie was presented as, hey... God, I love how the narrator says, and her name was Maleficent. Oh, so charming. Like, I mean, look, I know it's just a name, but,
Also, why the fuck she looks like a younger version of Hawkgirl?
Also, half the time in this movie, James Newton Howard, the composer, he kind of plagiarizes Harry Potter.
Yeah. Wow, 2 minutes and a half before we get a pottery joke. Fucking seriously, man.
What the heck are Avatar fairies doing in my Maleficent movie?
It's like I'm watching Shrek all over again.
Maleficent is one of my favorite Disney villains, exactly for the same reasons that Doug explicit in his Disney December review of the original Sleeping Beauty. while her motivations are simplistic, the way she's drawn and the way she's animated and
the way she imposes herself over everyone else.
She's so cool, and the overall and yes, the idea of a movie based around her has merit. The problem is that
okay.
Why did they drag Dolores Umbridge into this?
Okay, folks, you may notice that we kind of tend to have.
Also one of them.
Okay, folks, you may notice that we have.
Her actress is the middle one.
Yeah.
Judy, why?
Well, hey, they both love pink. Folks,
I know that they killed M, but you don't need to...
And before you ask, folks, yes, those are the 3 fairies. So
you don't know, in this movie, they are comedy relief, completely stupid characters. Enjoy.
And it's obnoxious to me because the fairies were actually some of my favorite probably my favorite characters aside from Maleficent in that movie because they're really likable.
I mean, yes,
they
were a bit goofy and they fought a bit each other, but they were not stupid.
Yeah, and they were charming in the way they were, and I'm sure since Teo is a sucker for parents who are trying their best to raise their kids, I'm sure Teo probably appreciates that aspect as well.
Balthazar, really?
I mean, there's an entire sequence in the original animated movie where they actually discuss what to do with Aurora, and they consider different hypotheses in a very intelligent way. Someone says, "Oh, let's turn into a flower." No, Maleficent will put a cold wave and will kill her. So no. But anyway.
So, yeah, this boy. We'll talk.
This guy.
But just keep this in mind.
Can you tell me what the English name of him was? Because mine was called King Stephen.
Yeah,
that is it's King Stefan. Yeah.
Okay,
remember, Teo. They have to make it consistent with the original animated film.
No,
so
but that's the problem, Pedro. I don't know what some of the original names was. I still stuck with the Italian version.
Okay. All right.
And so wannabes.
All right, folks. Let's count off some of the issues here right now. Okay, first the elephant.
Instead of actually making. Instead of actually making the movie about the actual Maleficent that people already know and love, they decided to turn her into a tragic figure who wasn't really a bad guy. She's just a
misunderstood.
Yeah, I'll touch more on that later. But for now, here's a few
cold compress.
It was a stone.
It was called Killer X.
Huh. Anyway, basically, here's a few things that the movie changes off the bat. Apparently in this version, the fairies not only knew Maleficent, but apparently were associated with her at some point in their lives.
That's because all fairy creature lives in this recluded area, I guess that's the best way to call it. It's similar to what Native Americans are doing these days. Because in expanding the lore, they decide to almost copy-paste entirely the Chronicles of Narnia Prince Caspian, and not in a good way.
See, here's the weird thing, though. Apparently, they're the ones who are distrustful of the human first, and Maleficent is the one we're trusting in the first place.
And in turns, as you will see in a bit, the humans are fucking racist asshole that wants to destroy everything that's occult and fairies because we want to rule the world and shit.
Of course, don't you know that man is evil?
I am so sick of this cliche. I told multiple times, but I'm so
Oh wait, hold on, guys.
Wait,
hold on, guys. There was an important plot point that if you blinked, you would have missed.
Yeah, it's based on Celtic lore. Mystical creatures are usually weak to iron. Don't ask me why.
Gee. So,
but it's consistent with mythological lores of old.
Now I want you to remember. He took off his ring just so he wouldn't harm her.
Jova, are any of these characters in Once Upon a Time?
Yes, but they're done better. Like, Once Upon a Time is pretty much well, maybe not the most definitive of Disney adaptations, but it's pretty much the Disney stuff. In fact, they even sometimes lampshade the Disney versions.
It's better than this one.
Good. Also, I forgot. What age were we supposed to be? Like 12 or 14?
14, around that area, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes, there is a Maleficent also in Once Upon a Time, and she has done much better in that.
So they'll grow up to be an American and a South African.
Oh, yeah. Never mind the fact that this movie's gonna crap on what that friendship turns into, but that's for later.
Problem. This plot point, compared to the rest of the crap of the movie, actually has some potential. The fact that, of course, it reeks of fan fiction material, but at least it's not completely bad.
I know,
you can
right?
go somewhere with this. Too bad they decide to go nowhere.
Like, okay, you want to make Maleficent a tragic villain? That's fine, but remember the fact that she's still freaking evil. That she was evil enough to place a killing curse on a baby for spite of not being invited to a party.
All because she wasn't invited. That's how dickish you can be.
Like, look, I'll give the Star Wars prequels...
Jelena, what are you doing here?
She is. Oh, okay, I have a bit to say about her later.
There's
Well,
one.
we're in-
If I can
go
give this
ahead,
movie
Leaves.
credit- if I can give this movie credit for anything, it's not the worst Angelina Jolie film I've seen.
You
Eh.
think Tomb Raider was still the worst?
Tomb Raider, no, not Tomb Raider 1 was fine. Tomb Raider 2, no. That was
Okay.
Hey, look
No,
at
just one. Controversial question. Were those the years where she had breast cancer?
I don't know.
you are not
Okay.
Superman. What are you doing?
Da, 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 da.
Maleficent.
James doing Howard kind of rips off John Williams in this movie. I'm surprised he didn't do that.
Where do you think he is?
Also, notice my directing.
Also, in the Once Upon a Time.
His name was Robert Stromberg.
Also, I believe in Once Upon a Time, it's established that her horns are actually more of a helmet piece in that version.
And that's why I originally thought too in the animated version. It looked like a hat or helmet or something.
Oh, don't worry, Tio. Don't worry, Tio. Don't worry, Tio. You're gonna be confused even more when she actually becomes evil.
Sorry, Jova. I'm too busy being pissed by this fucking cliche.
All right.
Because we need, despite we're in 2014, we still need to rip off Lord of the Rings somehow. Let's have our epic battle like 10 minutes into the movie.
Well, remember, Teo, the Hobbit trilogy also started in this year.
True.
Actually, Hobbit ended this year.
Oh, wait. When did the Hobbit... Oh, yeah, that's right. Hobbit started in 2012.
And again, the motivation for the humans to destroy the mystical creature is because we're a racist asshole and wants to rule the world.
Now, by the way, folks, you know what else adds insult to injury? The fact that the whole humans are racist against fairy things gets dropped. Later, gets dropped. In fact,
stupid king dies, that thing is almost completely dropped.
Not only that, but the humans are actually nice to the fairies because, they gotta be in cahoots with the fairies because, the pink, blue, and green fairies have to be friends with the king.
Now, you could argue that in this case makes the king like a dictator when everyone has to obey him or something, but sorry, that still doesn't justify this behavior. I am so sick of it.
Oh,
Think about it, Dweebs. Imagine if an Harry Potter books was entirely dedicated about the Muggles wanted to exterminate all wizardry because they're racist against them. That's how stupid and irritating this cliche is.
Oh, Tio, I'm so glad that you brought up the possibility of this king being the dictator and the only reason that the humans are racist, because, that is going to couple into one of many, many, many problems I'm going to have involving Stefan later on. And, yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Have more ants and no cough, because why not?
Jovid, are you sure you didn't pick Lord of the Rings by mistake?
But Dweebs, then we'd be having fun at the likes of Elijah Wood.
Well, Pedro wouldn't, but still.
I'm still surprised that the Games Workshop didn't
You'd
try
be surprised,
to
Dweebs, remember,
plastic miniatures from this.
You'd be surprised, Dweebs, remember, at one point I was planning on picking King Kong 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Also,
because I
another
really
thing that-
want to
guys.
tear that movie an asshole.
Another thing, the CGI of this particular creature is not bad, not necessarily bad, but it's so straightforward, it's bland to look at.
Yeah.
Also, those wings are apparently enough strong to knock people off.
Also, I'm going to bring up another recurring problem with this movie throughout. It is hard as fudge to tell who they want you to root for at times. At times it seems like they want you to root for Maleficent. At times it seems like they want you to root for people against Maleficent.
I love how so far, mine and Jova's issues with the film are on different aspects. Jova's is the script, mine is how it looks.
Oh, don't worry, I'll have plenty to say about the visuals later down, but you've covered a lot of the earlier issues.
But Maleficent is pointing at the big
for as
king
bad
himself.
honestly, just for as bad as the visuals are, they're nowhere near close to the worst. I mean, I could get over the bad visuals if at least the plot was good.
Yeah, because, okay, I remember what I said in our...
Pedro, in a film like this, you have to have good visuals, and...
Oops. Gee, maybe going up to a guy in a metal suit wasn't your best...
Bad, but it's not like they're the worst I've ever seen.
It's okay, she has regenerative powers like Wolverine.
Look at the budget this film had.
Yeah, okay, I will admit, when you're a Disney movie and you look bad, something's wrong. I'm talking about you, Mars Needs Moms.
I thought you were going to say Strange Magic.
Well, basically, you know, a Disney budget usually is often guaranteed to give you at least what you need to look good.
Also, I forgot. Well, for some reason,
$180 million, and yes, I know.
Also, for some reason,
like I said
Maleficent
before, it
still
doesn't all
is.
go into the CGI, but still.
For some reason, Maleficent is still in charge of the entire creatures of the forest. Never understood why. Also, for some reason, that single gust of wind that Maleficent propelled with her wings was enough to put the king in a dying state.
Sharlto Copley.
Looking like not Christian Bale.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I think this is Sharlto Copley's worst acting performance.
Yeah, and that's saying something considering his role in Elysium.
Well,
His role in
actually,
Elysium
I thought it was
hilarious.
I thought it was the best part of Elysium.
And
Yeah,
to
for
be
all the wrong reasons, mind you, but still.
and to be fair, didn't Elysium take partly in South Africa?
No.
No,
Elysium.
that's District 9.
Elysium.
Oh wait, hold on, I love
The
this.
stuff was Los Angeles, and the rest was in space.
Not that
So-
it matters, because all three of them are the same movie anyway, so it might as well.
So growing up, Stefan became the king's attendant, I guess, and he
Let's,
was just in the right place to hear basically the secret of the weakness of the fairy, the weakness of the fairies, and the fact that basically the king has put a gigantic bounty on Maleficent's head.
Can I point out something? Kill her and bring her wings to me. Let's see, let's erase this and that. Kill her and bring her heart to me in a box. Hello? Hello? Save that for the Snow White adaptation, maybe?
Yeah.
They'll probably do that after the Lion King or something.
Well, don't you see?
Or no, after
Don't
Aladdin.
you see Jovan Dweeb's, what's the name? Snow White and the Huntsman is the kind of new version of Snow White. With Thor.
Oh my god, are you saying that that's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Of course, because
So-
everything is connected.
You know, I wonder if Disney are going to work in the infamous infidelity into the film.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'll be the new subplot they add in. Snow White cheats on her what's her boyfriend's character's name?
That's another thing. Why?
It's,
That's another
it's
thing, by the
literally
way.
Prince Charming, but go ahead.
Snow White cheats on Prince Charming.
I'm sure the
That's another
Disney
thing.
remake will eventually give him a name, but okay, I really, really, really hate what they're gonna do with this.
You were
That's
saying,
another
Pedro?
thing. That's another thing. Why Charlotte Copley? Charlotte Copley is not at all a good dramatic actor.
Let's see. Apparently, I guess he got an acclaim from his role in District 9, which at the time was being praised, yo. And
Not
I
really. I mean, this movie came out like 5 years after District 9. Really? Was it still? I mean, by this point.
From what I hear, he was also beloved for. From what I hear, he also had a good resume from his role in Elysium and some other films that we haven't heard of, I think.
Yeah, because he was in that cinematic masterpiece, The A-Team.
It's not even just that. I mean, that's another thing, by the way, because for as much of a fuss as people were making about District 9 back in 2009, who the hell is even talking about that movie nowadays?
No one really. Okay, let's see.
Exactly.
Okay. So in between District 9 and Maleficent, he was in The A-Team, Europa Report, Elysium, Wickus and Chalice,
Also,
Old
it
Boy and
requires
Open
an
He was
Grave.
also in the Old Boy remake.
It requires an extremely powerful sedative to have someone still sleep while Stephanie was gonna do what he's about to do.
But here's the thing.
Unless-
Here's the thing,
unless
though.
we're
Go through with it.
Here's the thing, though.
Sorry.
He does not go through with killing her. I want you to remember that as well, coupled with the romance that they've been building up between these two, because it is going to bite this movie's butt so hard in the final climax.
Either that or there's going to be another war against the Fairy Kingdom or some shit. Unless they're going to go Dunkirk on this, I don't care.
Oh,
You know, actually, Pedro, considering I'd welcome this movie having less dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Considering how badly it's written, yeah.
you know, there was something I missed the first time we watched this movie
boy,
that
here we go.
really
Ladies and
takes...
gentlemen, Angelina Jolie trying to act distraught.
Yeah, that's another thing about Angelina Jolie. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against Angelina Jolie as a person. From what I've heard, at least, she doesn't seem a bad person at all. but she's never convinced me as an actress. I mean, don't get me wrong, she was fine in the first Tomb Raider movie, but the problem is that the problem here, she's required to actually emote very dramatically, and she's just not good at it.
Which is weird. Which is weird.
I still miss when she was very young in Hackers.
Yeah, which is weird, because, like, well, she can actually do some acting in this movie good, but... Okay, yeah, allegory for rape.
The problem really here is the script.
Also, here's another problem. This is an allegory for rape when you think about it. Woman goes to sleep, man does something to her in her sleep, takes advantage of her, and, well, she's missing something.
Disney.
I mean, granted, I missed that the first time we commented on this movie, but gosh darn, is it not subtle.
The king is so desperate, but he's accepting this plebe, but just added as his curator or something.
In fact, considering how
the bounty.
In fact, considering how Walt Disney Animation Studios are going through their third golden age right now, wouldn't it be so much better of an idea if we got them to do like a spiritual successor or sequel to the original movie?
Maybe.
I mean,
well, Pedro,
I'd rather watch that than this.
Well, remember, Pedro. People aren't really keen on animated sequels still, considering most of the DVD ones.
Well, honestly,
really,
yeah.
Why do we have to keep bringing that up? That hasn't been a thing since 2007. Why are we still bringing that up?
2008.
Oh god, 2008. That hasn't been
what, Ariel's beginning?
That hasn't been a thing in almost 10 years. Why do we still have to keep bringing that up?
I mean, come on. Oh, by the way, now Maleficent's turning evil. So
we're looking forward to Ralph Breaks the Internet proving people
wrong. And there's a traditional cane.
So, guys, for all who wanted to know why the stick she has been there, well, she decided to turn evil one day, and the stick elongated.
Not just that. This implies that she needed her wings to balance herself out. No, sorry, it doesn't work like that.
Also, never mind, I'll point that out later, but the music's still sounding a bit whimsical, despite the fact that she's been stripped of her wings and is now going through a downfall. All things considered, don't you think?
Yeah,
speaking of which, our composer...
James Newton Howard.
Hey.
I'm not Shyamalan's personal John Williams.
Yeah, I was about to say, Pedro, James Newton Howard being tailored to a rather sucky film.
I'm still a bit miffed that he didn't get to compose for Split, considering he should have.
I guess Shyamalan couldn't afford him or something.
Also, it's snowing now, I guess, because
remember, Shyamalan's not in the multi-million-dollar phase anymore.
I know, but still.
Okay, here's another thing that's a problem. Her transition to the end to actually becoming evil. Like, okay, look. Oh, wait, hold on. I think we're about to...
I forgot, the Raven actually has a name, but
Diablo.
I don't remember what it is.
Diablo,
there you go.
Oh, never mind, we're not doing the thing with the Raven. I mean, or Crow, or whatever.
You're just making me wish I was playing a Blizzard game. Thank you.
See, okay. Oh wait, now we're doing the thing with the Crow.
Doggo, no.
Why she took an interest in that Crow and decided to follow him all this way?
What's with the dog having a beard?
Because the plot demanded it.
Actually, there's a reason. Isn't the dog like a human in disguise or something?
No, that's the Crow.
No, she turns the crow into an
in that case, I have no idea.
Ladies, Twilight.
What?
No.
I'm not even gonna go into the logistics of turning a bird turning into a human and not realizing how to even use his body, but.
Hey.
Fairy tale, I shouldn't nitpick, I know.
Hey, Tio, animal who turns into shirtless guy who may or may not be love interest for our protagonist, Twilight.
I don't even know what the relationship where the writer went for with Maleficent and Diablo.
I guess it's to give the Crow more character, even though really do we need more character for the freaking Crow? No offense, Crow on SSMB.
No, here's the thing. When Diablo actually got hit by the backfire spell and turned into stone, I was legitimately shocked because he was actually very competent up until that point.
Yeah.
This travesty, on the other hand, is just there to offer moral support.
Basically, she says, you are now not a crow, and poof, he can now become a crow or not.
There you go, Stephanie's a king, congratulations.
King Copley.
"Oh, hail, King Copley." Which, by the way, you told that he looks to you like Christian Bale. To me, he looks like the actor who played Captain Archer in Star Trek Enterprise.
Scott Bakula.
I guess that's his name.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that
Come to think of it, I think
Oh,
Bakula
and look
was
at
better.
that, Stefan's wife. Cherish this moment because she appears so rarely on screen for the
Wait,
entire movie.
he was married?
Yeah.
I know exactly the point.
The
Thanks, Jobs.
entire premise of the fairy tale is supposedly the celebration of the daughter of the two. I can't.
Oh, and
To
this.
be fair, Teo, in the original movie, she also had like what, 2 lines?
But at
Oh.
least she didn't. Well,
Will someone turn off that stupid green light? I'm trying to sleep. Thank you.
also, that was so identical also to Mina's Marvel.
But don't you see, Joe? But she's getting into herself all the powers of hell.
Okay,
wish.
you know, I'm gonna
I
say.
really wish.
I said this before and I'll say it again. This makes Anakin Skywalker look like he has dignity when he did his turn. Because, okay, for as really sloppily as his descent into the darkness was, at least we got...
Jova, I'm gonna use one of the memes about Star Wars 3. Anakin had the balls to kill an entire room full of children.
Yeah, like, you know, then you actually saw us transition into darkness. All Maleficent's done is, I guess, shine a green flash into the light. Oh, and by the...
Yeah, to apply a cooking filter to the camera.
Oh, and by the way, here's the real stupid thing. Look, now, Maleficent not trusting humans because of what Stefan did, I get. But no, she decides to be a dick to everyone, including her home, which pretty much destroys the forest. Yeah, she did the army's work for them.
Why couldn't she
Personally-
just take possession of that forest that she was in, which is supposedly the fortress of the
Now we're in
original?
Game of Thrones?
Personally, I still don't really feel comfortable at all of the idea of someone murdering children in a Star Wars movie. But
No, I know, but that's the thing, Pedro. In terms of evilness, Anakin is 10 times
No, I
tougher than
know,
the
I know.
Maleficent of
Yeah.
this movie.
I know. It's just that I still don't feel comfortable at all with it.
That's
Wow.
always going to
The
be...
entire planet got blown up.
It was an exaggeration. Like
Yeah,
like
it
the
could-
movie-
Oh,
It wasn't necessary.
but hold on, guys. We're...
Yeah, 26 minutes into the movie, we finally start to get some resemblance of the original movie's plot.
Now, another thing about how this movie is advertised. This movie was advertised as seeing the movie of Sleeping Beauty from the villain's perspective. It wasn't about her origins and all. Now, okay, to be fair, we could argue that, okay, maybe her origins weren't supposed to be the main focus of it. Okay, so let's see if they can actually handling this movie from Maleficent's perspective then. By the way, she's still wearing those robes. Why?
I hope so. I hope so. This film's only like 96 minutes.
Yeah, that's another thing. Usually with big remakes like this, don't Disney usually try and at least hit the 2-hour mark?
Yeah, the Cinderella one is 2 hours.
Yeah, and I actually like that one.
I mean, let me check how long Pete's Dragon is.
Ugh.
I keep forgetting that Pete's Dragon remake's a thing.
You should
Okay.
watch it. It's the best one that they've made.
Okay. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna bring up another thing here. Here, she's not apparently evil, and she doesn't do what she does to Aurora because she wasn't invited, but it's vengeance against Stefan. Now, okay.
Well,
Let me
from what I hear, Pedro, a remake being better than the original Pete's Dragon isn't really saying much considering the original.
No, but
quality.
even as its own movie,
Oh!
it's just a
Yeah,
fantastic
freeze
movie in
again.
general.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, now Stefan is perfectly okay with having these three hanging around.
Yeah,
I-
Pete's Dragon is 1 hour 42 minutes.
I guess. Flitterwit, Glitter, and,
Discount
Hey.
Keira Knightley?
She actually spoke.
You're magic and very good with children.
And there she is. Aurora.
Baby Elle Fanning?
Eh. Yay! Gift of beauty, of
Which
course.
is, oh yeah, from the interesting thing, apparently Elle Fanning's younger than her sister Dakota, and yet she's way taller than her.
And then J.J. Abrams comes in and little
Oh,
baby, I gave you the
also-
gift of starring in Super 8.
That's so charming. The director actually forced the child to sneeze in order to create that effect. That's cute.
So, okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. Changing Maleficent's motivation to not just because she was jaded at, you know, the party to give her a tragic backstory.
She's basically, I don't know how to describe the term, but basically, she's roasting about Stefan's betraying her. Yeah. Shit.
Oh, wait, hold on, guys. This is actually one of the few moments where they remember the original almost line for line. And, okay, I know I said before I didn't like how Angelina Jolie looked in the costume, but thinking about it, I actually do like how she looks in it. And,
the problem, Joey, is actually everything else. The lining is so wrong in this scene.
Yeah. And you know, honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. You know, green skin or not, she looks fine, honestly. And it seems to be the look they've adopted, seeing as how she had a figure in Disney Infinity.
The problem is that I find her to just be miscast in general. I don't think she looks intimidating enough. Like, if we gotten someone like...
Glenn Close.
Glenn is already too old for the...
I suppose.
Pedro?
Oh, wait, you can hear me?
Yeah, no, I was saying Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, yeah, that could actually work!
That would work much better, thank you.
Yeah, Helen...
She was overused in Tim Burton with the same...
I mean, okay, you can argue that she's a bit too short, I guess, but she'll still be better. I think it would be a better casting decision than Angelina Jolie.
Not to mention, there are plenty of ways you can make an actress or actor look taller than they normally are.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, pay attention to these lines. They're for the most part the same, but they're gonna change up a little something.
Also, can I just bring up how Charlotte O'Co, please? English, Scottish, whatever accent he's going for is god-awful.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, again, that's the problem with Charlotte Copley. He's terrible at delivering his lines.
Yeah.
It's because of his accent, really. His South African accent so thick, he can barely do any other one.
Oh wait, hold on. Here comes the lines.
Why don't someone just try and get her away from the baby?
Because in the original, it made sense because she looked tall and imposing and whatever, and they even show how the moment you try to do anything against her,
everyone just standing because it's almost It's almost as if everyone is just waiting to see what happens in morbid curiosity.
Here it looks like I could get her away from the baby.
Dwebs versus Angelina Jolie.
And she gets the idea of the Predator. I think that's the name of the item.
Yeah,
just by looking at one of them.
Yeah, that looked way more intimidating and cool in the animated film.
I mean, okay.
That was also the way it was stylized. See, now the lining is still a bit more better, but it's still not enough. I get it that the original movie was stylized in a way to resemble ancient medieval paintings, and you cannot replicate that in live action. But you have so much CGI to use, fucking use it!
Huh, he's actually bowing to protect his daughter. What a horrible guy. Now, okay, I know what he did, but trust me. Oh, screw you! Okay. In the original, it's actually the blue fairy who hadn't given her gift yet.
Actually, no, the green one, Serene.
No. Actually, Tio, in the original was the blue fairy.
You're right. It's the blue one.
By the way, we were talking about the length earlier. Another thing I'd also like to say.
Oh my god, they got the right! Oh my god, they got the left just right there! It almost feels like it was taken from the original.
Pedro, the fact that the scenes are so stretched.
Not just that, the fact that this is only 90 minutes long also means that we get barely any time to actually get to know Maleficent. I mean...
Oh, we technically do get to know Maleficent in this movie, but it's done terribly. Speaking of which, okay, so you may recall in the original, it was the blue fairy who gave the little loophole that, you know, she would just be put into an eternal sleep. Remember, in the original, Maleficent said she was going to die. Yet in this version, she says, oh, she'll just be put in an eternal sleep. Because we're trying to make her not seem, you know, completely
Not
cruel.
just that, Pedro, that's a consequence of the fact that Stefan actually bowed to her, so she treats like a favor or something. But here's the problem, it's just the first step in showing that Maleficent is not really evil, she just have a bad temper because of her loss.
See, here's another problem, though. The only reason she leaves a loophole to, you know, for the princess to not be in eternal slumber is because Stefan bowed and begged her. Reminder, he didn't have to do that. He did it for the sake of his daughter, who, you know, they don't say anything about, oh, he just wants his heir alive. No, for all we know, he did that for his daughter. Now, okay, what Stefan did was terrible, but I'm gonna actually dive a little into this. There might have been a good reason for why he cut off her wings. Remember, the idea was to kill her, but he didn't. He brought the wings to fool the king. I'm gonna draw more on that later, but you probably know where I'm going with this. Basically,
The fact that he wanted to end the racism.
Maybe that too! I'm really gonna draw more on that later. Basically, here's the problem. From what we've seen so far, who's actually done the actual more evil deeds? Stefan, who spared Maleficent, didn't kill her, or Maleficent, the one who's done all this evil stuff, destroyed her own home, made her own friends her subjugates, and apparently is mean to her old friends the fairies here.
Just due to a bad temper. And of course we need to have these idiot scenes.
Oh, by the way, Maleficent already finds them.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes.
See, here's the problem with the
Which
fairies.
the original film.
The fairies, you remember the nice trio who, while maybe not being the best at parenting, tried their honest best.
They tried their fucking best, and in
Well,
the end,
actually,
they
I
screwed up.
I haven't seen the original Disney Sleeping Beauty films.
Trust
so...
me, Dweebs, there are so much better characters in that one.
Like, yeah. You know, that's another thing. For a movie that's as old as Sleeping Beauty was, when you compare it to this, it's a masterpiece. And, yeah. I love how the baby's like, you're not really that scary.
It has one of the, like one of the greatest climaxes in a Disney movie ever.
Yeah.
Like top 5 easily.
And that, as Doug pointed out, without having the prince actually speaking a single line after the 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah, you know, that seems to be a thing in a lot of Disney movies. Like, well, in the last few minutes, nobody's...
Movies were all bland.
Nothing is not like that.
No.
Pedro.
He didn't mean it in a
I was
bland
saying that
way.
in the sense that he didn't need any extra dialogue.
Yeah.
I still think we could have tried to develop the prince a bit.
True, I guess.
Well, oh god, that's something this movie
Really,
also
they
tries to
just
do.
made an implied facepalm with the fucking crow.
Let me ask you a question, Theo. For as much as we like the original movie, let me ask you something. Did you actually, for one moment, believe that those 2 loaves of bread were in love?
What movie?
Sleeping
original.
Beauty. They just meet the...
Okay.
Oh, but so were the same in Cinderella and...
Oh, yeah, of course,
Honestly,
of course. That's what makes
okay.
those movies dated, obviously.
See, look, okay, obviously by now standards, those ways of finding love are kind of false and whatnot, but Disney sort of had an advantage even to this day. Like, okay, the stories didn't exactly build up the 2 the best together, but still... At the very least, they had some songs to at least build up something to it. Heck, at the very least, there was at least some bouts of chemistry made between them. Yes, they were sometimes varied and far and few between, and again, I'm not saying that those match the standard of today, but...
Forgot what the name of that tabletop game is, but I remember it.
Right, considering the bouts of how they, were adaptating old Grimm tales into nowadays, I think that they did well enough for their time and age. I'm not saying that, they should be the standard of now, but there was still some spectacle to them that you can still feel, even if they don't have much screen time together. I mean, maybe it's more of an opinion thing, but I actually can sort of believe it, and heck, to give stuff like Cinderella credit, the story wasn't so much the focus on her, meeting the prince, but so much the fact that she had spent her whole life... Harry Potter must resist Harry Potter joke. Ahem. How Cinderella had spent her whole life trying to, do right and eventually get right done by it. And the live-action adaptation remake was a well enough extension of that. Also...
I can imagine the direction for that scene. Okay, just scream and be annoying.
Yeah.
Also, Maleficent has passed from being an intimidating villain to just be a troll who just fucks around with the fairies.
Oh, that reminds me. Here's another good point. Why didn't she try to kill Aurora? She literally put a curse on her. That might as well be death. She doesn't even try to do anything to her.
We need to rip off Lord of the Rings a bit more.
Like, again, seriously, Maleficent's shift from being evil to apparently liking Aurora has almost no transition whatsoever. Like, maybe if she was searching for Aurora years and years, and then when she finally finds her, she sees that she's different, maybe she might have mellowed out over those years, but no, she immediately finds her.
Right now is the Eye of Sauron.
Oh, by the way, the Thorns come early in this movie. You remember those things that came at the climax? Well, now they're here and they're on fire!
Fire is awesome.
Remember, Dwebs, fire is Maleficent's element.
Our hero? Okay, you know what?
That guy is dead.
Okay.
They're trying to have it both ways, aren't they? They're trying to have her be both an anti-hero and a villain.
Which goes back to my problem about how this movie can't seem to decide who it wants us to root for.
To take a line from Doug, there's a difference between being intentionally complex and sloppily complex.
Oh no, guys, look at the fact that Stefan slapped that guy and is yelling at them. You know, it's not like his daughter's life. Okay, I get what they're trying to portray. He's a bad king and all, but, maybe it's the fact that his daughter's life is on the line. You know, the same daughter who he bowed and begged in front of all his subjects for.
Now he just remembers about the iron thing.
Also, I'm gonna say this right now. You know what? If this movie just kept doing what it was doing by having Maleficent just be blatantly evil, this movie would have been 10 times better than what it's gonna turn out to be. Because, look, look, for as weak as they are, you have Maleficent now being evil, so do stuff with her being evil. But no, she's just teasing and taunting them.
Our villain, ladies and gentlemen. Or anti-hero, whatever. The movie that can't even decide what the hell it wants Maleficent to be anyway.
Before we get to another idiotic scene in question, that kid there is apparently actually one of Angelina's daughters, who was apparently the only one who didn't get scared when she saw her mother
in the costume. Yeah.
Oh, and look at that. Aurora's about to clearly die, so I guess Maleficent's evil plan is now about to be fulfilled? No, she saves the daughter! Okay.
What your goal was to kill her to torture Stefan? What are you doing?
But she's born in.
Also, in the original movie, the passage of time meant that Maleficent was using her minions, which, by the way, are not shown in this movie. You know, those pork guards thing. To search the entire kingdom. Of course, the minions were completely stupid, but in time they tried to improve a bit. But she still couldn't find it after all these years. Here, she just waits for her to grow. Why? Because she just finds her immediately and just waits.
I mean,
the very concept of this plot is moronic.
I mean, maybe she wants to wait for her to fall to the curse, but even then that's more stupid because, well...
It's not even just the fact that the execution is terrible. The very idea of this movie is stupid. It's doomed to fail.
So, okay, so apparently it is a headpiece, which I guess is just something that she wears over her horns, I'm guessing? Why?
No, the headpiece covers part of her horn, and you put it in like a pair of trousers in your
Yeah,
legs.
I get that, but why?
Because cool fashions and cosplays.
It's nice, I guess. And now the crow, instead of, spying on her, is...
Yeah, with whimsy music.
Bringing her stuff? Giving her someone to play with?
You know, Dweebs, I would love so much if the Doctor just arrived in a second with the TARDIS and blast everyone because he considers them an affront to the timeline.
And that'd be a bit dark, but...
That's something I will see Capaldi doing it.
I can't believe I'm gonna...
Don't be a lasagna!
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but this version of Aurora has even less character than Aurora from the original animated movie.
Which is a shame, because it's so funny playing her.
Not just that, you have the opportunity of rewriting the story.
Oh, hi, Bambi.
I guess in this case, as much as you fucking want, and you do practically nothing with Aurora.
Oh, hi, Bambi. Where's your mother? Oh, did Maleficent kill her too?
Too soon, Jova.
But Maleficent is this is the good guy, Maleficent.
I can't fucking... Jesus.
I don't even.
And I wish I was watching Pan's Labyrinth.
What?
I was going to say Pan for a second.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get through because his daughter's on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, look in the movie and original tale, the thorns were made as a way to stop the prince, which, you know, in turn served as a way to sort of test his fervor, vow, and dedication to the princess. You know, I just realized something. The old 50s movie has more depth to the thorns than this. And look. That's not an insult to those movies of that time. They're actually pretty good, and some of them still stand the test of age. But the problem is that you should be able to do better.
The power of Christ compels you. But of course, again, we need to rip up Lord of the Rings more, so let's just recreate that scene with Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli inside Fangorn. Yeah, sorry, movie.
Oh, God! It's
Twilight.
Sorry, movie. I'm still traumatized to this day to Mork in Neverending Story. You can't scare me with this.
Wait, I just realized something. That's a wolf with a beak mouth and talon feet. It's a crow-wolf hybrid.
It's like a wolf version of an hippogriff. And now she's doing what Loki kinda did in the Avengers movie.
Which one?
The first one.
The what, sorry?
The Avengers movie.
Ah, the first one, okay.
I mean, Loki wasn't in the second leaves. Come on.
Matrix!
Could the Wachowskis get direct that scene?
Maybe.
Hey.
Well,
that's a stupid idea. Why would you do that? It's clearly iron. Why would you need to confirm that?
Yeah, couldn't you have just had him touch it?
No, it's not.
The comedy in this movie is so painful.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened though? I thought you in her past films, Linda Warburton did write some funny dialogue.
Yeah, she did. Oh wait, I forget. Did she also do the live-action Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Huh. But yeah, she did the original Beauty and the Beast. She did Lion King. She did Ida.
I don't think even her remembers how she did that.
Well, again, I mean, I don't think she's been announced to do. I mean, other than the Maleficent sequel, I don't think she's been announced to have done anything new since Alice Through the Looking Glass bombed.
I don't understand, Disney. How many more times you have to she have to fail before you realize that this woman can't write anymore?
And kind of being part of the reason why some of your films have been tanking.
I guess to be fair, if
that one film, I should say, that one film.
I guess to be fair, if one of my employees made what is regarded as one of the most, if not the most romantic animated film, as well as the top-grossing animated film of my company for several years.
Okay. Well, not really, Joba, because remember, 3 years later, Lion King came out, and that was the highest grossing.
Pedro, Lion King was the one I was talking about, was the highest grossing one for years.
Wait, did Linda write that one as well?
Yeah, she also did the Lion King, both the movie and the Broadway extension.
never mind,
She also did the
never mind.
Broadway version of Beauty and the Beast too. I think she may have also done.
That actually gives me a question. I mean, regardless of whether she wrote like a multi-million blockbuster film 20 years ago, if she makes like one or two that completely tank at the box office, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't risk my chances on her scripts again.
My guess is like, well, for Disney, it must have been really hard for them to let her go in so many things because, again, she did such great for them that I guess it's such a shell shock when they don't do good.
It's like when Warner Brothers kept throwing millions of dollars at the Wachowskis, just even after Speed Racer.
Well,
and
okay.
But when Jupiter Ascending bombed, that was the final straw.
To give Linda Woolverton credit, she had a lot more of consistent success before she started nosediving, whereas the Wachowskis had the one film that did good.
Two, actually.
Hold on. Wait. Matrix.
The first Matrix and
Bound.
Yeah,
What?
well, Bound was good, but it wasn't a box office success, was it?
The heck is Bound?
It's made before the first Matrix.
Is that the one with the two girls? Forgot.
I think so. I haven't seen it, but the point
Anyway, go ahead, Pedro.
it was the first Matrix and V for Vendetta.
Anyway, this is our first real instance of the supposed bonding between Aurora and Maleficent herself. And this bonding that is going to be formed, it's so painful that whatever more it was trying to teach went completely wrong, and the only thing that spawned was a lot of very questionable fanfics and arts on DeviantArt.
But more on that.
Disney, because we couldn't have enough with Frozen.
Yeah, we'll touch base more on that later. Basically, okay, I'm gonna say, I hate to say this again, but yeah, let's take a page out of Star Wars Freeze's book. Like, okay, look, you're setting up a relationship between these two. So maybe, for the final confrontation where Maleficent, turns into a freaking dragon just to stop the prince from waking her up, maybe that means that it...
Technically it started in episode 2, but yeah, go on.
Basically, maybe the idea would be like, well, that she chooses to be evil, and that's what burns all bridges with her and anyone she ever had a chance of getting friendly with. Like, then she's truly evil by that point of the final confrontation.
Don't even get me started on how episode 3 handled that climax, but again...
I mean...
Not the time, Pedro, not the time.
That's the point in terms of just comparing the quote-unquote evilness, Pedro. I mean, again, I don't need all the edge, I live on the edge, I cut my veins every single day, villain. But again, oh god, this scene. Remember
don't you get it, Teo?
Wife?
But don't you get it, Teo? Sorry, but don't you get it, Teo? I am the toughest of blades.
Remember Stefan's wife? She's pretty much dying and she's gonna be dead off screen. Congratulations, we're never gonna see her again. Again, I know what you mean, Pedro, that she couldn't have that much development even in the original movie, but that's the same thing with Aurora. You have the opportunity to rewrite the story, to flesh out better the character, and you wasted it.
Oh, but you think that's bad? Here's the thing, now they're making Stefan insane. Now...
I'm not saying that I disliked Aurora, it's just that she was about as interesting as it would...
And also, instead of burning those wings or destroying them, he just keeps them as a memento or some shit.
So here's the problem I now notice. At this point, the only reason that we could really grow to hate Stefan in comparison to Maleficent is if he does such reviled things. The thing is that, I guess the writers realized, oh crap, we haven't actually been making him to be that bad out to be a guy. So they did one of the most laziest plays they could ever do, just make him insane, because that's apparently going to excuse everything he does later on, and...
Also, despite Maleficent influence, the forest still have some whimsy to it. Oh, also, thanks again for that poo joke.
Is that poo, or is that... Yeah, never mind, it's close enough.
Whatever it is, it's stupid.
G-rated poo.
Movie, Shrek 1 was actually clever.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
When Shrek 1 did this, it was just part of the intro to establish how dirty our character as an ogre was. It didn't need to be a returning... Okay, it did become a returning plot point for later movies, but that's besides the point. What I am saying is that you do it terribly. Also, I'm gonna bring up this thing. Everything they do to try and make Maleficent more likable, you know. Instead of making it a... Actually, you know, let's see what she does here.
Well, at least
She's
the movie...
trying to revoke the curse.
Well, at least we're almost 2/3 into this.
So, okay. They have tried to make Maleficent more likable by giving her a tragic backstory. You think, okay, that's enough. No, apparently we also need to make it so that she doesn't try to kill her, she just tries to put her in eternal sleep. Oh wait, that's not enough. Now after making Stefan beg, she adds in a loophole that can break the curse. That's not enough either. Let's have her bond with Aurora. That's not enough. Let's have her try and revoke the curse that she herself tried to put.
It doesn't work because I guess God
wasn't
God got bored.
Well, actually it was because she made it irreversible.
This
What
is
happened
the story that invented loopholes in magic. You seriously couldn't get a way out of this.
There is a loophole, remember? Get a
was,
prince to
Jova?
kiss her.
What happened, Jova, was God was all like, "No, I will have her die to prevent you from making Maleficent 2."
This movie though still has to continue.
I know. Again, Terry. He was thinking in the long term. If she dies, there would be no Maleficent 2.
See, here's the problem. You see, at this point, it kind of turns into cheating when you have to change this much stuff about our character to be likable. And okay, this is where I bring up this. Yes, there have been stories that have made it that, oh, turns out the villains were the heroes and the good guys were the villains.
Yeah.
Like, heck. Even one of my favorite shows, Once Upon a Time, does that by making Hook the good guy and Pan the bad guy. However, see, here's the thing. Those are different continuities. Like, you know, yes, it's Disney and whatnot, but they actually give us long-crafted narratives and reasons for why they're evil. And you know, while it may piss off people of the original, at least those stories make sense in their own context, narratives, and don't have plot holes. This is already an adaptation, so by nature, you have to at least give a cunning and well-crafted narrative for all these reasons why these characters are the way they are. You can't just say, oh, turns out Maleficent was the good guy all along because this stuff happened.
Charlotte Copley was still having nightmares about Chappie.
Yeah, basically, it kind of...
Remember, Chappie wasn't out yet.
Yeah. See, it
But
kind of...
remember, wasn't he shooting it at this point, though?
I think so, yeah.
He was having PTSD from the filming.
Yeah. To cap it off, though, I mean, the fact is that this movie tries to have its cake and eat it with as little effort as possible.
Also, another thing.
That reminds me, Dwebs, is Charlotte in those Neil Blomkamp short films?
I checked his cast thing, and I haven't seen anything.
Because I mean,
Also,
he's his favorite actor. So
All right.
assuming.
What's up
Also,
to you?
another thing. You may notice again that King Stefan is going insane from this and he's getting a lot more characterization. In turn, as you can imagine, this means that the entire subplot of Stefan negotiating with the other king and subsequently introducing that way the prince into the story is completely gone. So thank you, movie, for not having me enjoying that scene with the drunken bar that was mostly the highlight of the comedy of your original
Oh my
movie.
god, I loved the relationship between the two fathers. I mean, you know, thank God we didn't have them saying, oh, we had to marry to stop war. No, they were just marrying because they were really good friends, and while that kind of clouded their judgment, they surprisingly weren't as forcing as you'd expect someone in the medieval ages to go.
So in turn you think, well, how the prince is gonna get introduced to his story? No idea.
So, here's another issue, though. Okay, so
Doesn't he
Stefan's...
only have like 5 minutes of screen time here?
Or worse.
Almost worse, but yeah. See, here's another thing about King Stefan. Okay, so he's, by definition, being driven insane. Now, okay, I'm gonna gloss over the whole... If a person's insane, does that really mean they're responsible for their actions? Saying, we've heard that before, tried and true and done it. But here's one thing I want to focus on. Okay, so he does a lot of the bad, truly evil stuff he does because he's insane. Well, whose fault is it that he's insane? Whose fault is it that his daughter had to be estranged from him? Why, I do believe that was our hero, Maleficent!
I thought you could say Linda Walworton for a second. She wrote this.
Aside from that, though,
In
again,
case you're wondering, oh, she chose spontaneously to get the bounty in order to become king. Well, the previous scene showcased that the people that the king was contacting for the bounty clearly were not the the best looking guys in the entire realm. So
Yeah.
Stefan was probably assaulted by, compounded by a sense of trying to do the right thing for saving the money.
not only that. Oh, hi, Prince Philip, who, in a reflection of the original film, shows up in that angle. That's
There
nice.
he is. Here, he just strolls around in the movie normally, like that, without any characterization. I mean, yeah, he definitely in the original, but then that thing was a bit backed up by the subplot of the friendship between the two kings. Here, we got nothing.
Oh,
The kingdom and everything else where Philip comes from is just barely mentioned and glossed over entirely.
So
funnily,
here he's just some guy.
So much for the lore building of
you
this
know,
world.
for as much as we joke about how spontaneous the singing in old Disney movies were, the songs did still serve their purpose in crafting the story in someone. Yes, it was through song, but still, we understood why these characters felt the way they did, how they felt the way they did, and how we were to feel. Like, dear Lord, each gift that the fairy gave was actually sung to them in song. Heck, there's actually supposed to be a song here when he meets her. I mean, yes, we don't get to know the most about them, but we do know that they've dreamed about meeting this very person here and there. Maybe it's fate or whatnot. See, the thing is that, for what was, I think, maybe one of the first of, what's nowadays more long-coming live-action remakes, this is lacking in songs. Because, other Disney live-action remakes, they include well, not all the songs, but sometimes the old, sometimes some new. So, why don't we get some of the singing here? Is it just because it's from Maleficent's perspective? Because, well, screw you, that's a missed opportunity for a song from Maleficent. Okay, Pedro, your turn.
Turn for what?
A lot of us have been pointing stuff out wrong, haven't given you a shot.
Well, Pedro is just burned out at this point.
True.
Not some. Well, there's that. Well, I will say this. However, for as much as I hate this movie, I guess I can at least give it. At least I guess I can say that it's not like something like Gone Girl, where it takes so long to finish that I feel like I'm dying. At the very least, it kind of moves at a decent pace, I guess.
Oh, I love this.
Not really, Pedro. Again, despite being 90 minutes, it still feels like an eternity because the scenes are stretched so much.
Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna say it again from the old commentary.
Besides, again, Pedro, well, I haven't said it to you specifically yet, but basically my rule is that one of my rules is, I know you're thinking differently, but basically one of my rules is that the movie can be long enough for me as long as it entertains me. And
I agree with that.
for example, for example, a movie like a Lord of the Rings style type movie, 3 hours long, can be still doable to me if I get enough entertainment and story and characters from that. But here we have the opposite effect. It's a 90 minutes movie that feels like a fucking eternity. Okay, not No Country for Old Men level of eternity, but what the fuck?
Hey, these fairies have barely been in this movie despite the fact that they're the ones supposed to be raising Aurora.
Yeah. Oh, look, Sharknado 4 leak. At this point, I'm more tempted to watch that over this.
Watch out, though, Pedro. Apparently Sonic Mania is getting leaked.
Wait, I feel like I've seen this with the Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges routine does not work here.
Dun, 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 dun.
And
Also,
then,
is that supposed to be a reference to Braveheart?
and then she cast the Cruciatus curse on them. Oh boy, here we go.
Have I missed anything?
Quick tips, throw a pie in my face.
I don't have a pie. I've got a bottle.
Oh look, an HD.
Oh look at that!
Look, an HD camera.
Pedro, look! It's a recreation.
Probably even worse than this.
Pedro, look! It's a recreation of the cake from the movie, only smaller.
No.
And now splattered.
That's a good representation of this movie. It's smaller, it's ugly to look at, and it just falls flat on his face.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the pink one hates the other two. That's
Yeah.
nice. Look, just because you have Dolores Umbridge doesn't mean she needs to be playing Dolores Umbridge.
Not just that, but
Oh, and now it's time for our traitor revealed scene.
yay.
Because we lost so much of that cliche in the movies, right?
Okay, the relationship between Aurora and Maleficent is sloppy, but I'm gonna bring up why that really hurts the film near the end. Yeah, why didn't you tell her?
Because I didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Gee, did the evil-looking, black gown-wearing, evil fairy named Maleficent be the one who placed the curse on you? Okay, I get not judging by outward appearances, but girl, Maleficent has been kind of acting a bit aloof to be considered your true and honest friend. It's like if Cloud all of a sudden... Oh wait, that did happen, but that had explanation! Why he felt so betrayed by Sephiroth turning evil.
Go ahead, Pedro.
Can I go back to Litton's mystery journey now?
Wow, Maleficent did something.
Oh wait, never mind. She didn't know that she was Maleficent.
Yeah, blah, blah.
You filthy casual.
You didn't bother to actually establish any proper bond or even personalities for either of these two characters. Why should I give a shit?
And okay, you know what? The movie has an out here. Have Maleficent all of a sudden go all self-righteous and then go evil again when Aurora splits off from her. Like, then, seriously, every chance this movie has to just have Maleficent, you know, be evil
Get
like we expect her to be,
miserably.
they go the other route.
See, the thing is, too, my problem with Lord of the Rings is not so much... my problem is that it
Oh wait, guys, I remember how Dwoops pointed this out originally. The king is about to see his daughter, who he hasn't seen in ages. What's his reaction?
He gets told, yeah, he looks at her like she's just some piece of trash.
Reminder, he bowed and begged for her.
Anyway, what were you gonna say about Lord of the Rings?
Hold on.
Oh, God. Oh. About your mother.
Yeah, about
She
that.
died. Charming.
Now, okay, the reason he wants to lock her up in her room is because, well, the
He
curse
wants
is...
to protect her, yeah.
Yeah, and yet they're portraying it as him being cruel and whatnot, but he told the fairies, wait till her 16th birthday.
Goody.
And yet, they're trying to portray this as him being worse to her than Maleficent.
Man.
Wait, hold on.
Is that tea good, Waves?
Actually, it's juice.
Huh. That's unusual of you.
Oh.
Let me guess, Pedro. Lord of the Rings because
Also-
it's too long.
Also, hold on, before Pedro replies, another thing. In the original movie, this is, but approximately, supposedly the scene where Maleficent tricks Aurora into, picking herself with the needle. Okay, I get it. But the circumstances are different. But here's the thing: in the original movie, that scene is still fucking frightening to me because the combination of the music, the lighting, and the style makes the scene fucking terrifying to look at. Not in the sense that it's bad, but in a sense that it's scary.
Never mind
Here,
the fact,
it is just treated again like some normal event. Like, oh, I need to go to the grocery store. I'm gonna get bread, milk. Oh, and by the way, she pricks herself.
That's not the only insulting thing about her pricking herself. By the way, Maleficent is now the one actively trying to stop the curse.
Along with the prince sleeping, I guess. Anyway, Pedro, go ahead. Might as well.
Well, the thing is, just my problem with the Lord of the Rings movies, not so much the whole, it's entertaining or not thing. It's just that it's fun at the beginning for me. The problem is that, again, with Peter Jackson's obsession with putting every single paragraph of the books in, It gets
No,
to a
again,
point.
Pedro, that's the problem. When we'll get to the movies, to those movies, believe me, I will complain with every single scene that it's not that will be generally fair, but there are some parts, some long parts, that are completely different from the book in a very insulting way.
So you're telling me that
So
he actually took some scenes that
essentially,
were short and actually made them longer?
I will tell you, Pedro, practically one half of the entire trilogy is completely filler made up.
Okay,
Well, that
here.
explains it.
So here we go. Okay, so this is the room where they keep all the spinning wheels. And, remember how in the original Maleficent conjured up one? Well, here, one just magically fixes itself for the curse to go through.
My best theory will be that remember that in the original movie she said that their powers come from hell or some shit, but maybe this is the devil just fucking with her or something. But sorry, we have not established this enough for this scene to be justified.
Not to mention the fact that in the original, Maleficent just had one that she had herself.
Also, yet again, the lack of her minions makes this scene of Maleficent trying to rescue her looking really stupid because she's charging in, guns blazing, alone with just the prince unconscious and Diablo, which we'll see later what she does with it.
Not to mention the fact that she was hypnotized by Maleficent in that scene. Here, why did she prick her finger?
Because her finger hurts? I don't know.
Why did she stick her finger on that spinning wheel?
Well, she was grasping her finger beforehand. Did her finger start swelling?
This is more contrived than a Doctor Who episode wrote by Stephen Moffat.
Or did she somehow get a blister on her finger? No, Tio. This film at least is in its own bubble.
True, I guess.
But it's okay.
But don't you see, dweebs? The future can be changed, except for some convenient points.
Also, just gonna remind you that Maleficent only left this loophole because Stefan begged her to, so by extension, she's
actively helping him.
And wouldn't that also mean that we have Stefan to thank for the fact that his daughter's still alive, even though he's supposed to be...
No, but don't you see, Pedro? Sorry, Jova, he is really the bad guy because he's insane and shit.
Again, they had to make him insane to actually make him seem like the bad guy.
Once again, she has entire magical powers at disposal, and she's not gonna try to sneak in stealthily and instead charge in, guns blazing from the front door.
It's not like she can just teleport.
You're making Snow Fiddlers from Final Fantasy 13 looking competent.
Oh, but Tio, it's not like we had a scene establishing that she can teleport in there. Oh wait, that's right, we did during the scene when she cursed Aurora. What the hell?
I can.
Huh. What would you look at that? A character who has a reason to be mad as hell for this.
It wasn't our fault.
Also, I have to say, this is my first experience with Chartacopoulos acting. He's so bad.
Yeah. She's always sleeping forever!
Not just that, he's just such an unfitting voice. He's not menacing or threatening or deep enough.
It's sad, I think he was better in Hardcore Henry.
And for some reason, Stefan has booby-trapped the entire castle with these iron spikes.
And Hardcore Henry's pretty much a bizarre mix-up of Call of Duty and Mad Max.
Again, Maleficent,
also,
you can teleport.
This is like a reverse scene of where in the original Philip has to go against the Thorns. This is so bizarre in terms of... reverting stuff.
Because then I guess everything here is made of iron, so...
Yeah, that's the thing.
Also,
but here's the thing. This shows that for these contrived and very bad stuff, people actually fought before writing it, and they still failed miserably. That's the more insulting thing about this movie. Not the fact that it could have been rushed, it could have been just people stupid enough. No.
Someone got paid to write this.
There was actual thought process, and they got paid for it. That's the most insulting stuff. Also, she's now Yoda. She can hit everyone with a staff. Or Rafiki, call her what you want. Also, I think what we even mentioned, when the fairies are in their natural state, in order to symbolize their statues, their voice is chipmunked slightly. That's not distracting at all.
Also, Prince just wakes up on the doorstep. I'm sure him kissing her will work just like in the original. No.
I get what Disney's trying to do. Again, the same as Frozen, that original fairy tale conception is wrong and instead you should trust more on reality. I get it. The execution is the problem.
Also, just gonna say this right now, look, Disney, we get it. Your movies could be sexist back then, but I don't think this... Okay, look.
It was another time.
Not only that, but
So basically, they're removing... They got rid of sexism against women, now they're making sexism against men.
Oh, yeah, that's another topic we've actually been skating around.
But Jova, it's against men, so it's apparently okay.
See, here's the thing. Look, whether or not the original fairy tales are like that, again, you were adaptating a story that's been told for centuries! Literally centuries from the Brothers Grimm pen.
Not just that, Jova. The original story is way much more darker. The 50s movie is doing it a favor.
Yeah.
By being that.
Like, okay, we get it. Female empowerment and all, but there are ways to do that without demoralizing or diminishing the roles of other characters. Again, I bring up Once Upon a Time, a story which is an extension of a story of Snow White, and, you know, a lot of other those fairy tales. The females can still kick some serious butt. They learn to, despite the fact that they're the damsels occasionally. You know, look. You want to have a movie where Sleeping Beauty kicks ass? Why not make a sequel where she does that? You know, like how Cinderella Free did it. You know, for as much as people didn't like direct-to-Disney videos at the time, Cinderella Free is regarded as a pretty awesome action piece where Cinderella literally has to work for her happy ending against the evil stepmother who has the fairy godmother's wand.
The whole true love's first kiss thing didn't work.
Whoa, gee!
That's because don't you see, Webs? It said true love. Specifically said it had to be true.
Well, as I was mentioning where you're gone, Pedro, again, I get what Disney's trying to do, but there are so better ways to do it.
Hey, true love, more like true lies,
Also,
I wish Schwarzenegger was in this movie.
And there goes the prince. He'll be back, like, at the end of the movie, but yeah.
He'll be back never.
See, look, I get it. The prince and princess didn't get that much screen time in the original Disney movie. But here's the thing. They still had more time together before the kiss compared to this movie. Like, in this movie, it's like, what, a minute? But they actually
it's played for laughs, but no one is laughing.
Like, okay, we get it. They didn't get that much screen time in the original movie, but we still got the romance. And you know what? That's what remakes are for. Expanding and improving on stuff. You know, again, like what you did with Cinderella.
And now apparently we're going to rip off Frozen.
Oh, okay.
So Disney are ripping themselves off.
Also, yeah, remember how I said the relationship between Maleficent and Aurora sloppy? Yeah, this is where it really comes to bite it hard. What true love is there between these two? Like, the love of a mother and daughter? She may have helped raise her, but honestly, from what we've seen, the fairies may have done more of that work. Well,
and
maybe.
The fairies are crap.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, okay, for as much as she helped with raising Aurora...
Hell, Pedro, if anything, Diablo seems to be more in tune with that idea.
I know! Diablo had more...
Have they even called him Diablo in this film?
They did once when she was writing him... They did once when she was writing him as a...
You see what was the problem. You're zigzagging between stupidity and promoting bestiality. You're like Sonic 06 now.
Also, I just realized, isn't Diablo kind of your slave? I mean, he became a horse for her to ride. Also, Maleficent calls her beastie.
Bullshit.
Boo!
Yeah. Welcome to our Frozen commentary.
Beastie. You know, someone bring in Ruby and Sapphire to show us how you do some proper lovey-dovey names.
It's sad when you're being out. It's sad when you're being outdone.
Doing perpetually these characters and letting the internet go wild for a while too.
So what you're saying, Jova, is that this is being outdone by drawings of two lesbian rocks.
But we still need to finish the plot with King Stefan because we cannot have an ending now, can't we?
So
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah. So
line.
basically, wait. So we got a villain.
Again, why can't we just teleport away?
Because
And now
everyone
Aurora
needs
is-
to
Why do you
have a
need a-
climax.
Why
And-
do you need a villain in a movie about Maleficent?
Yeah, that's a good question. Also, Aurora's perfectly fine with leaving her father now and going back to the forest.
But
Oh.
remember, Joe, she never knew her father's.
Well,
here's
there's
another
the
thing, Here's
reason
another
for
thing,
that.
Pedro. Dweebs. You can still make a product of media about having a villain protagonist still going against something and make it still good. Case in point, Mario and Luigi Bowser Inside Story.
Yeah, that too. You know, stop! She's only the woman who put a curse on me when I was a
she's already
baby!
dead.
No, please.
And here we come to the ultimate betrayal to me to
Wait.
the original movie.
Wait for it.
This is supposed to be the climax, so what are we gonna do?
So, Maleficent, you're gonna turn into a dragon, right? Why are you... Oh...
No, let's just have Diablo fill that role for no reason at all.
So they turn her slave into a dragon.
Screw.
Also, another thing that is going to happen in a second, he is roasting them, but none of the soldier is being overheat in their clearly metal armor. Fuck this movie. Fuck it in the ass. Again, it's a fairy tale, yes, but this particular concept of physics is still used even in fairy tales. So fuck you, movies, for not even trying to power with that.
Also, hey Aurora, who are you gonna root for? The fairy and crow who are burning soldiers who are trying to protect you alive? Or, you know, the soldiers who are trying to protect you throughout their lives?
Also, can I just mention how the action here is really underwhelming?
Yeah.
It's also complemented with by the fact that the action is spruced into so many shots that don't last even 10 seconds.
Yeah.
This, I believe,
Well,
is...
remember, I don't think Robert Strongbow has directed
Teleport
anything
away!
at this point.
Look,
Also, the mere presence of the iron can do this.
No, screw you. And screw what you're gonna do with those wings, too.
Oh god. Yes, apparently
The
this movie
wings
hasn't
are
stopped-
apparently alive.
Yeah, the movie hasn't stopped being completely stupid.
Also, the dragon's supposed to be the bad guy. I have played several Kingdom Hearts games where I'm fighting the dragon. Why is this movie expecting me to root for the dragon?
Yeah, again, even the goofy version of Maleficent's dragon in Bird Sleep, where she flies in that awkward way, is way more intimidating.
Hey, that armor looks cool for a Monster Hunter game. Aurora, why are you trying to help Maleficent? Okay, I know that. Okay, Maleficent woke you up from the curse. That's good and all, but are you sure giving her back her wings is a good idea? Hey, you know what would be a good idea? Why not have a scene where these two talk things out? Like, you know, this would be a scene where Maleficent comes at Stefan for what he did to her, but then he explains that he did it out of desperation and safety for her. Like, you know...
No, we need to have these Dark Knight Rises chant, wazaba, dash, dash.
Like, okay, seriously, let's think about Stefan for all this. The movie does not imply. It tells us that he loved her truly back then. He didn't kill her. So for as much suffering as she had, and I'm not going to diminish how much suffering she had when she lost her wings, the movie kind of ignores the fact that he must have suffered mentally too from what he had to do to betray her, but still keep her safe.
Yeah, but not just that. He's descending to mess is way, way too sudden to be justifiable.
And now he tries to kill her. Well, okay. You know, and you know what? Okay, maybe...
Where did their cape went? She clearly doesn't have her anymore.
I don't know. Also, now she's wearing a leather outfit?
She's like a bad version of Catwoman.
No, she is the Legion of Dark. She is the Legion of Darkness. She is not a light elemental.
Those wings conserve perfectly for all these years.
Also, they can just reattach themselves. And I guess her having her wings now gives her
Fuck
extra
this movie
powers.
in every single orifice possible.
Also, Aurora, she may now very well kill your father. Why are you smiling?
It's almost over, Pedro. Come on.
Remember, Jova, as far as she's concerned, Maleficent is the real parent.
Also, once again, the irony is not affecting her just because she has wings. Don't ask her.
Also, bull about her seeing Maleficent more as a mother because Maleficent's the one who's a curse on her, and Maleficent was the reason she even got to know Maleficent in the first place.
Not just that, she's actively the responsible of the death of her mother.
That too, yeah.
Symbolism. The fact that the throne gets squashed.
I guess. Shoot her!
Because we need a Jurassic Park reference.
Yeah, that was supposed to be comedic, right? You weren't trying to be serious there. Oh wait, you were. Let me laugh even harder. Ha!
I'm not. At this point, I
Matrix!
cannot even laugh. This generic music also. It sounds like trailer music. So now can we finally have some confrontation mano a mano? No, we'll just go fisticuffs, okay.
What's over? The mess you started? You know, it'd be nice if you took responsibility for that.
Of course.
Guess he couldn't just let it go. And also, Beauty and the Beast. Seriously.
Also, despite being a more quote-unquote mature movie, we still have to have a Disney-style death.
And like,
So yeah, Stefan's dead.
There's only so many times I can say fuck this movie.
what? Did you actually love him? That's what the scene's suggesting.
Fuck everything.
I feel sorry more for the king than you. That was after he was a jerk. So I guess the throne now falls into anarchy. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah. You know, Maleficent, humans didn't seem to hate fairies either when he was king either.
Not
Compared to
just
that old king.
not just that, all those soldiers were still loyal, quote unquote, to Stefan. So obviously they're gonna, try doing something. But nope, I guess.
Oh, God.
And of course, since everything is resolved with a person dead, by the way, the thorns just crumble,
Maleficent brought them down.
and the world
course.
can become again sprinkly sparkly and so whimsy. Fuck this movie.
And Maleficent's heart was brightened. Are you serious? So, screw being an anti-hero, she became a good guy.
I can't.
You know, Jesus Christ, Deadpool did a better job of keeping him an anti-hero.
Oh, congratulations! Both your parents are dead.
Technically thanks to Maleficent. No, don't give him that glance there. They actually tried to take care of her while you tried to kill her. Oh, the kingdoms are unified.
Because of raisins. Yeah. Aren't you ecstatic,
Oh, don't you
Pedro?
see, guys? The story's not quite as we were
No,
told.
no.
In this moment, I am euphoric. Not because the movie has established something, but because the movie is fucking over.
And it turns out that our narrator all this time was Sleeping Beauty, who's now queen of both the fairies and the humans.
ants.
But hey, they're here to throw
hi
one
there,
last
just
bone to
go.
us.
You haven't earned this. You haven't earned anything, movie. This is so disgusting on so many levels.
Screw you.
Yeah.
Both hero and villain. At best, she just brought back a girl who she herself liked from a curse that she herself did. As far as I'm concerned, the fairies, who, yes, are jerks, and the king, who I guess was the villain of this, are more hero than she ever was in this. God, I hate this movie even more than last time we watched it. But hey, we're about to get a remix of a song from the original. We get,
like, what, 10 minutes of credits, practically? Jeez.
Oh, look, it's that song!
Wow, this movie
you know,
really was short.
Look, it's that song that established Prince Philip and Aurora's romance that you completely skipped.
Don, what the fuck, Don?
Okay, yeah. Tio, you go first.
Actually, can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Weebs.
Okay.
Because I have to run more.
Yeah, this movie is no better than when I first saw it. It's crap. The end.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess, Tio, do you want to go next or have Pedro go next?
Let you guys go first because you have less words to say since it's a generation for you.
True. Alright, Pedro, you next.
The movie is terrible and it takes a big dump on the original animated film and with no proper justification for it. It's terrible, it's stupid, and this just overall, it's just a terrible film in general. I mean, there's not really that much to say aside from that because it's so blatantly terrible. That's it. I don't really have anything.
Go ahead, Jova.
Yeah, this movie is even worse than I remembered it because, yeah, now I realize they do a lot of... Oh, Juno Temple was in this. They do a lot of cheap emotional manipulation to try and get you to care for the characters. And I get it, a more feminist take, but oh, God, this is more the feminazist version where most of the men are just terrible. In fact, some of the women, too, are terrible, but we're supposed to like the ladies more so. But that's besides another one of the major points. The culmination is a riff-off of Frozen's ending, which literally just came out a year before this movie. Like, really, turning Sleeping Beauty into Frozen, not cool, dudes, not cool. It's cheap. It's so cheap with its writing tactics. It's infuriating. And the things it does to the characters you know and respect. Look, maybe if it were its own continuity, that's fine, but this was their apparent adaptation of Sleeping Beauty, just seen through the eyes of a villain. A villain named Maleficent, who turned out to also be a hero according to the movie. Screw that. And yeah, Maleficent herself is robbed of a lot of her more awesome moments in the original. It's so distasteful. The cast are trying. They're trying. And you know what, honestly, for as much problems as the acting, cast, visuals, and whatnot were, this movie could have been good if it weren't for one sole thing. The script. The story. Like, I swear to God, this is one of those cases where pretty much 98% of everything bad in this movie is its writing and plot. Like, okay, seriously, for as hokey as the acting is, and the visuals, it could have filled something of the basics, but nope. It was driven downward by that stupid plot that warps these characters that you loved into something ugly and unrecognizable. The music is good, for the most part, over the top here, but bland in other cases, sadly. And again, the lack of songs really does hurt the narrative here and there. And yeah, making Diablo a human/slave thing, that's iffy. No, actually, I don't like it. So yeah, terrible movie then. The sequel better have something amazing to make it actually respected. Okay, Tio, it's now you.
Fuck this movie, please. I mean, at this point, I can't even be angered anymore. I guess I'm in the depression stage. But why everything went this wrong? What was the thought process? Why everyone thought it was a good idea to proceed this way? It's it's so distasteful. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I will agree with Pedro for this one. It doesn't have to be a carbon copy of the original, not at all. Especially because, as pointed out, the original still had some flaws in the sense of some characters not being developed that much. But you really had to do this. I mean, Maleficent again is one of the most cherished and treasured and liked villains in the entirety of the Disney's gallery, people. And you're just doing what probably Tumblr would do with her. You're literally Tumblrizing Maleficent. I mean, the even act of thinking something like this, it's disgusting. How do you even do something like that? I mean, here's the thing. I get it. What some of the ideas for this movie were: make it Maleficent a bit more human, quote unquote, and discussing about the morality of everyone and everything. But here's the problem: it's done in such a bad way, and it's revolting in how stupid this movie is, and how insultingly to the intelligence of the viewer it is. In a lot of occasions, the stupidification of the three fairies is one of the many middle fingers that the movie does. It doesn't even try. It's just like he wants to do his own story, just with some licensed characters he got from this other one story, and it's so bad. When I first saw this movie, I forgot what I didn't hate that much stuff, but the the end result of this movie being so bad made me had cramps all the rest of the day. That it was that impactful. And I know what you mean. Oh, it's just a remake for a movie that was based for little kids or anything. Guys, as Doug pointed out, the Disney movies managed to be also for adults, especially the old ones, are becoming more and more also for adults in a sense that they appreciate the style of the animation they're using, the quality, the people they got engaged with. So in a sense, even the original movie is something that even some adults treasure. So something being betrayed with this entire travesty, it's beyond belief.
Not to mention the fact that this is sort of how people view Maleficent in the public eye, since she got a Disney Infinity figurine too.
I really wonder if this was also the reason why with Beauty and the Beast, for example, they stuck very close to the original movie. I know that Cinderella did a lot of things differently, but without straying too much from the source material. But Beauty and the Beast is, from what I read, almost completely by the book, with just some minor alteration. But this, and I really wonder if this was the sparkle that made Disney go back and say, "Oh, yeah. Wait, we really fucked up."
For as much as people like to complain that the remakes after this are played very safe with sticking basically to what the original films were, but only some minor.
Exactly.
Can you really blame after what happened with this one? Can you really blame them?
Not just that.
Yes, but still.
Not just that. Here's the thing. Imagine what could have been if the same thought process of this one. I don't want to even begin to think what would have happened.
To give them credit, later films would take some risks, but never to this level of exploring the villain side of things.
Unlike what Doug Walker would have you believe, trying something different doesn't alone make it good.
So yeah, fuck this movie. I want to forget about it again. See ya.
It should only be uphill from here until that sequel comes. Alright.
Alright, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.